Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. So as you can see today, I'm not holding any more drums, but I'm holding my drumsticks. Okay, so today what we're going to go through is our drumsticks. Number one, where to hold. Number two, how to hold. Okay, so let's start with where to hold. Okay, so when we hold our drumsticks, we like to use this place called the fulcrum point. So the fulcrum point is basically where the drumstick has an even weight. So it's like a seesaw. Okay, so somewhere here. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna use our thumb and our index finger, pinchy pinch. We're gonna pinch somewhere below the logo over here, and we're gonna try to swerve it around, see whether it's even. If it's not, then oh okay, here's one quite even when you move the left and right. So this is where the fulcrum point is. Okay, we like to hold our sticks at the fulcrum point. Okay, so if you can't find your fulcrum point over here, there's another method. This method is basically what we're going to do. We're going to hold the stick at the end. So same thing, use your thumb and your index finger. So hold it to the end and put it against the surface and try to make bounce. Try to make the stick bounce. So see over here, not much. So if there's not enough bounce, I'm going to move in. Okay, so I'm going to move in. Try again. There's more now, so we're gonna move in even more. So this is where we're starting to see bounce, right? Yeah. Better. So this is where the most bounce is happening. If I go a bit too far, there's no more bounce. So I'm gonna move back. Okay? So use that and find your fulcrum point. Okay? Same thing. Same thing on your left side, or once you found the fulcrum point on your right hand, you can just match it together with your left hand. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, so this is your fulcrum point. Okay, so now I'm gonna run through stick grips. So there are two kinds. First kind is called the traditional grip. Second one is called the match grip. Okay, so why is grip so important? As drummers, we use our fingers, our wrists, our arms, shoulders. Okay, so it's very important that we have good posture and we have good stick grip so that we don't injure our hands. Right? We don't want to injure our hands, right? Okay, so very importantly, once you feel that after some time, your hands or your wrists, arms start to feel a little bit too much strain, maybe it's because that you're not holding your stick as good as you can. Okay? Don't worry, we are gonna fix that now. So I'm gonna go with the match grip. Okay? Why is it called a match grip? It's because your right hand is matching with your left hand, vice versa. What we're gonna do, we're gonna explore three kinds. First kind is called the German grip. Okay, so Germans, they use this kind of, actually I also don't know why it's called German grip, but just called German grip, so let's go with it. So the German grip is basically, we're gonna put our palms right, we hold our stick, our thumb and index finger, then our three fingers will wrap around like that. Okay, so our palms will face the floor like that. So the back of our hand is facing us. So same thing on the left hand. Okay? And when we hit our sticks, if you put it flat, it's gonna form a 90-degree angle. Right, so it's like a roof triangle, whatever you want to imagine. Okay? So for German grip, you're gonna hold a 90 degree like this and use our wrist to up, down. Okay? So German grips are very strong because of the way we are using our wrist. It's this whipping motion. So it's very important that you use your wrist and not your arm, right? Because if you use your arm, you're gonna put a lot of strain. Okay, so be careful of that. Use your wrist. So you see, it's still a 90-degree angle. Okay, so that is German grip. Now, if the German grip is very strong, we have another kind of grip that is not that strong, and that is the French grip. Okay, so the French grip, the sticks are basically parallel to each other. Okay, so same way, thumb and index finger, 3 fingers wrapping around like that. Don't hold too tight, because if you hold too tight, it's gonna cause a lot of unnecessary stress. But if you hold too loose, your stick is gonna fall out like that. Okay, so what is a good gauge? Hold it and use your other hand, try to pull it. Okay, the stick shouldn't move, but it shouldn't be so tight until your hand is feeling a lot of stress. Okay, so be careful of that. So make sure that when you pull, it doesn't fly out. Okay, so back to our French grip. So the French grip, instead of 90 degrees down like that, it's actually parallel. So the palms are facing each other like that. Okay, so this is a very soft stroke. So same thing, use our wrist. So for French grip, naturally you want to loosen up a little bit because it's a very awkward position. But generally this is used when we hit the right cymbal. So it's very light compared to the German grip, which is very loud and rough, tough. Not rough, tough. Okay, so this is the French grip. Very light compared to very strong. Okay, so we have one extreme which is very strong, the other extreme is very light. Let's find something in the middle. Okay, so the one in the middle is called the American grip. Okay, so we have Germany, the German grip, we have France, the French grip, and now we have American grip. Okay, so the American grip is in the middle of the two of them. So instead of being parallel or 90 degrees, the American grip goes into a 45 degree. Something like that. Okay. If you want, you can bring out a protractor, but you can just eyeball it. Okay. So it's around 45 degrees. So it's interesting. Now our palms are sort of facing towards our, what's this place called? Shoulder. Our shoulder area. So it's facing our shoulder, sort of, or maybe this whole part. Okay. And same thing, use your wrist. Okay, don't use your arm. You're gonna hurt yourself. Okay, so use your wrist. And now, let's see whether it's very strong or very light. Right, so now it's in the middle of both. It's not too strong and not too light. This is somewhere in the middle. So, if you can't tell by now, I and a lot of other people like to use the American grip because it's somewhere in the center, right? So try out these 3 grips and see which one you like the most, okay? If all these 3 don't suit you, maybe you use for traditional grip. So how do we use a traditional grip? Our right hand actually stays in this position. So with our thumb and our index finger, with our 3 wrapping, our left hand changes. So instead of hitting up, out like that, the stick is going to face the side. Then how are we going to play like that? Right, it's a bit weird. What we're going to do, instead of facing our palm down, we're going to lift it up. So I'm going to slot my stick and hold it between my thumb and my index finger like that. Okay, what's happening next is that in between my middle finger and my ring finger, gotta put the stick across like that. So it looks like that. Okay? And now what I'm gonna do, I'm going to tighten it up. So if you flip it, it looks like this. Okay, so imagine you're carrying an apple, but there's a stick. And then close it, tighten it. Same thing, enough so that it doesn't budge, but not so strong until everything is stressing. Okay? So like that. With your right hand in the match grip. And 90 degrees. So similar to the German grip, 90 degrees. So it's gonna be like. So for the traditional grip, you must use your wrist, right? Because if you use your hand, use your arms, it's gonna be a little bit weird. So throughout all the grips, it's very important that you use your wrist, okay? So the traditional grip looks like this. So traditional grip is used mostly in military band, when you see the snare drummers, they do that kind of stuff, or jazz. So a lot of jazz drummers still use this kind of grip. So that is the traditional grip for you. So we have gone through our match grip, we have gone through our traditional grip. So find which one suits you the most, and don't forget to always use your wrist. If not, you're gonna get injured. Okay, so be careful. And that is the end of this lesson. Hope you learned something. If you enjoy this, feel free to check out our other videos on our Facebook or our website at King George's Music. Google us. Google's your friend. Okay? And that's about it. So I'll see you next time. Bye bye.